The university currently employs across the full range of employment categories. So by that I mean ongoing or permanent roles, fixed term contracts, part-time. So in terms of our total workforce, about 80% of the work roles that the university offers are of a permanent or ongoing nature, and about 20% are fixed-term contracts. Of the permanent roles, a good 40% of those are currently offered on a part-time basis, and of the fixed-term contracts, 40% are offered on a part-time basis. This is important because for women or people in general seeking to try and balance family responsibilities with work, part-time, and particularly part-time roles of an ongoing or permanent nature, are in some sense the gold standard, and they can be hard to come by. But the university has a very good track record in terms of what it offers flexibly across the workforce. And we don't see that changing in the short term. We just really, as a university, want to continue to have the flexibility to respond to the market in the way we need to find the roles that respond to the business needs. And at this stage, that means we'll continue to offer quite a broad range of roles on a flexible basis. In terms of what ECU is looking for, we're looking for people that can participate in the future as we see it. So that really means that we need staff who are technology savvy. Our students certainly expect that. The old chalk and talk methods have gone. So really any sort of skills that you can acquire and develop that enable you to work at the leading edge of technology are going to be highly valued. Your capacity to manage information and organise yourself is very important, because we live in an information overload situation most days of the week. You've got to be able to cut through to work out what your priorities are. So essentially people that can be organised and work out priorities, that's another important capability we look for. Communication skills. We need you to be able to communicate reasonably well on a verbal and a written level. Otherwise, being an academic institution, people keep correcting everything you send, and that's a waste of time. We also need people who know how to work in teams. That means sharing in the glory as well as the pain of being in a team, supporting others. We need people who can network across, because inevitably large organisations are silos. That doesn't mean copying 40 people into every email you send. It means actually collaborating across those unit boundaries. And I think probably most of all we need people who are able to learn, because the world's changing very fast. We're not sure the direction that everything is going to move in all the time, and we need people who are willing to let go a little bit of the old way of doing things and actually embrace new ways and come up with new ideas, and that means you're a learner. So it's ironic that we teach and we have students, but we also need staff to be learners as well.
We have a lot of young people that uptrain and stay in our industry, which is fantastic. You know, it's really good to see that we've got up and coming young people that have chosen to do on-the-job training instead of going to university and staying with us in retail. Because in Australia, quite often it's not seen as a career. It's seen as the job you do while you're at school or as a student. But increasingly we're getting young people that are seeing it as a career opportunity, which is a great thing. Being in a service industry, we look for people that are people. So people that communicate and are great with service. That for us is more important than ticking boxes on, you know, are you good with numbers or whatever, because every single person in our store has to deal with the public, and we pride ourselves on customer service. I would say that upskilling, changing your skill or going back to study is a great thing, because when someone's been out of the workplace for a long time, it's difficult to look at their resume and go, well, you know, and unfortunately that's just the nature of being a mum, is you want to take time off. I did the same thing. But retraining in this present day and age is always valuable, really valuable.
I see the future of work changing a lot, actually, in terms of the types of roles that will be employed. The old sort of full-time employee type scenario has, I think, started to be phased out, and people are looking for more flexible work options, and I think employers are looking for a lot more flexible employee options as well, especially in this sort of tougher economic environment in WA at the moment. It's a lot harder for employers to commit to a full-time employee. So I think that you'll see a lot more casual hiring and a lot more part-time hiring with maybe some flexibility of some more hours. Job opportunities at the moment, like the so-called sharing economy with things like Airbnb and Uber and Airtasker and things like that. It provides everyone more opportunities to perhaps work on that really sort of casual basis, but they're almost like they're working on their own terms at their own time, and they can do that, and you can fit that around the rest of your family life. And I think it's good that the family life is getting put back into priority for a lot of people. I think that whole sort of working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, which might have been in the sort of, maybe the in some the 80s or 90s, and the family comes second. I think those days are pretty much gone now, and people putting work-life balance and family life in front of work, which I think's which is good. Yeah.
I think just choose something that you enjoy, go and get some education or some training in those things, and just be confident and go back out. And I guess also be happy to start at the bottom and work your way up. If you're in a new environment or in a new kind of area.
Most of my staff are casual or part-time. A little bit of flexibility for mums who are coming down. They can work mornings, they can work lunchtimes, they can work afternoons, and if they build up a clientele, if they were to go down the PT road, they can set their own timetable, Energy in a person when they come down, and just a keenness and willingness to learn, we can show them the rest down here. If they come down and they have a good vibe and they're excited about being joining the team and getting involved in the business, that's the number one for me. Women trainers down here are as good as anyone, they're awesome. We have, obviously the clients have their preference, and it's not just male or female, it may be to, a different person from me to Jack to whatever, But our female trainers do an awesome job, and it's I don't see it as being unbalanced at all. There's plenty of room for women in this industry, and they do a great job. So
every facet of the business, there's women involved, from the bookkeeping to waitressing to being in the bar, kitchen hands. We've got a female apprentice. We've got female management in the kitchen. You're looking for long term, and definitely a lot of people that sort of come on board in this industry are unskilled, and so coming up through the ranks, so to speak, is pretty important and something that we encourage.
It's possible to do it with a family. Part and parcel with everything. I work nights, but he's at home, and we make it work. I always keep going forward, pushing myself, learning. You never stop learning. You just continue to build yourself. You never know until you try it. If you don't have a go, you'll never find out what you can do.
I think within the profession of psychology, you've got the options of working full-time and part-time. Mental health is an absolutely growing area. So whether you choose to work full-time or part-time, there is plenty of opportunities out there. Whether you work for government, non-government organisations, or you decided to go self-employed and set up your own business. Set your goals, set your dreams, and go for it. Have a plan, and then break down the plan so it's manageable pieces so that you can reach your ultimate goal. There's nothing outside your limits and scope apart from the can-do attitude. Don't let the attitude pull you down. Be positive and future-focused and go for what you want to achieve.